33. Welcome in. I am a psychic intuitive. I am a star seed. I channel higher conscious wisdom, my higher self, passed on loved ones. Welcome into the channel if you're new. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you dig the vibe. Yeah, Jason, I do need an intro for sure. I'm not fancy with all that stuff. Turns out I'm not good at all the electronics. Okay, so I felt this sense of a message that needs to come through. So we'll see how long we hit on it, but there's definitely bringing something back up through this court system. Falsified records, mischievous behavior, and it feels more like it's on, and I want to talk about an elite or a unseen level. I feel like there's some sort of council that sits around, feels like within a community. And I want to say they're like the gatekeepers of somebody who can, I don't know, they could even run like hospitals or, you know, create frequencies for people to get sick. Or, I mean, this is on a big level in some ways. It really feels like it's more, I keep hearing like nationwide. It could be pertaining to your situation. Remember, there's different aspects of us that are seated here in this physical body. And not only that, but there's also, we could call them doppelgangers in energy, so to speak, that are different rays that come from different levels of consciousness or frequencies that are also another aspect of yourself existing at the same time that you could be having physical interactions with in some way or another. That felt like a mouthful. There's a need for fresh air and to get into nature. Somebody could be struggling to be still at this time. There's backstabbing, rude, hurtful out here with your being lifted up to a new level. Evil trying to stop the light. And the January comes out. You could be melding with your higher self through forgiveness, and that could be the lesson within this. Drugs comes out here as well as targeted. And misuse of power. Wow, what are we talking about here? There's a bunch of shit coming out, isn't there? Healing past wounds and abuse. Many people see you as their hope in humanity, light, and love. It could be a situation where people have mixed feelings. If there was judgment that was passed, if somebody did try to do this slandering or snuff your light out by defamation of character or attacking your business, it looks like you're, there's a huge shift vibrationally that those are no longer resident energies that are going to be entangling in your reality. And the more that you wake up to yourself and realize you can pick that higher vibrational frequency to bring that in, it feels like that you find peace and hope in that. Some of you are going to be completely blown away by, I don't know, it feels like somebody has watched you go through this. Somebody who's observed, or we're talking about energetically. I heard a highly spiritual connection is in the balance. And again, this could be you to yourself. This could be the wisdom and knowledge that you bring. Says you're beautiful, and a huge shift. Higher education is here with as you heal these past wounds. All right, evil trying to stop the light in January. For some of you, this goes as deep as into like, I heard a fraternity, but it's like a congregation of people that are chosen or selected. These are all people that could have been in the hospital or have had blood work done, or this is kind of weird. But it's like they're observed in this community. I'm seeing something about drugs. It's like, this card doesn't belong in here. Somebody who's planted seeds to see a certain reaction or how something plays out. Feels like on some level they're wanting to understand this placebo effect that you have. You could be very entwined cosmically with cosmic energy. Like you could harness energy of the cosmos. You could be indigo comes out. You could work with the Pleiadians. You could be very protected by higher councils of light. It's like I'm hearing mission board. It's like somebody has a job strategically to wake up and try. It's like the vigilante to bring justice to shit that other, you know what I mean? Those that public servants I'm hearing, these people that are misusing power in some way or another, holding these positions or within these communities that has infiltrated and siphoned, become a siphon. It's like evil trying to trap light. It's a energy that somebody carries with this group that siphons out. I heard hopes and dreams. If you've been somebody who was very ambitious, and then you could have had like 3 years, and I'm hearing from 2019, 3 years where you just got hit really hard. Really hard. What's up, Bill? What's up, Mariah? Micah, good to see you guys. Thank you for coming in and hitting the like button. Love you guys. You could have lost, like, I'm talking animals, people in your life, but it could have been, it could have happened, and it feels like such a strategic way. I mean, some of you are waking up to the fact that you've been involved in a whole fucking society of very corrupt individuals. These could be people that you go to the pharmacy or the grocery store. These are your average Joe Schmoes, the people at the post office, the postmaster, the lady at the fucking feed and grain store down the road. They're placed everywhere. And it's like if you came into a new place or moved up in a position, like you could be being observed for the amount of resilience, but radiant energy. It's like unmatched as far as, like, you could have been poisoned or given something to drink or eat or been inhaling or breathing toxic something. I don't know. It could just be the energy that permeates off these people. I mean, it's very toxic. I'm seeing evil, which, like, I just keep seeing that big tall shadow man with the red eyes, you know, and it feels hungry. It feels like it did not get it's like a sight to siphon an energy off of somebody through fear. If you're going to court with somebody, or you're in some sort of it's contractual. So whether this is a verbal or written agreement, could be past life, it could be now. It feels like something is resurfacing or being relooked at, or trying to be revised in a way. There's a play on words within this that could be very tricky within this, I wanted to say confirmation, but this contract. It's based off of words, intent, and energy behind it. Be careful what you sign. Remember, I want to say, remember that you are the master of your own making. That beginning of that new year really rung something in for some of you, huh? There could be somebody who's being haunted right now by, like, ringing of the ears of, you know what I mean? Targeted comes out. Why evil trying to stop light in January? Okay, marriage comes out. This house. Walking away in this home, work situation, or I want to say place of employment. So between the home and work, there was this walking away about. Evil trying to stop a light. You could have been working really hard at something. You could have been working while other people were standing around, or you could just be really dedicated to your craft and what you do. Sunflowers could be very important, or that could just be a symbology or something that will give you confirmation that this is about you. You could have had some sort of ceremony or something on a beach, or water, salt water. There could be something with salt water pertaining to a house, or salt in a house. Maybe it's some sort of evil trying to stop, so some sort of something that was spoken out with intention and salt having to do with this house and work situation. If you've suffered some sort of loss in your home life and at work due to somebody creating an illusion of options, or being in the boss's ear and trying to make them perceive something in a different way. For some of you, you're straight up working with somebody who is into sorcery and I wanted to say elite magic. They can create illusions, you know, a distraction for you to go over and get a cup of water while you're away from your desk and get the PIN number off of you know, and do this in a way. Create illusions or distractions so that you're not somewhere. And they could be, you know, getting this information through astral projection or aerial viewing. They can move their consciousness. This is for, I'm talking about elite level. 111 comes out with backstabbing, rude and hateful. Feels like there was an illusion cast to indifference or a confrontation between this work and home situation. Feels like this was a targeted action. This could have to do with misused power and drugs. I heard public enemy 101. So when they take drugs off the street, they just put them back out there. I don't know if somebody put something in your vape or something. It could be you could have been hallucinated or ingested. I'm telling you, there's something that misused power was here. So whether somebody put intention behind it and you got sick, or felt very ill in some way, or your head like psychically felt like you were being targeted, this is a confirmation for you. And it had to do with somebody who was rude and backstabbing, somebody who probably is the furthest thing away from being spiritual or receiving divine guidance. They probably get this from a book or something that's passed on through the family, but it definitely, they do not work with the higher hand of Christ or the Christ consciousness. This is conjuring information and conjuring things from it's something definitely about a book. I don't know if this is a spell book. This is something that holds, I want to say seances, and I'm hearing accolades. Good job. So that needed to come out from somebody. Yeah. There's other deities that are like infiltrated within this space work home situation, this I wanted to say coven now, society. And I laugh as I say that because it's like people out of YouTube in some ways, you know, how to work with certain energy. And it's like what came through, especially if this person's like on drugs or alcohol or tried to put that on somebody else's life to create a relapse or I heard revoked and rehab. So to try to, I don't know, make something turn in their favor. If this person were to relapse or to use drugs, it could get their kids, their house, their home. It feels like there's definitely motives behind this. That also could be in a book. And paperwork and having to do with the higher ups. What's the targeting here? What's the targeted mean? Misuse of power. Oh yeah. Somebody who does not use their intuition. Somebody who flies at the seat of their pants, makes quick and hasty decisions. This is from somebody who is not divinely connected or has lost that connection in some ways. There's underhandedness here. We knew that with the backstabbing and secrets that are held within. I keep seeing secrets around a work situation. There's like two people that are aware of something that happened. This person could be feeling targeted now if you walked away from a situation. There's paperwork that's being withheld or redacted in some way. It's been revised. It's like what gets signed, it's not the same contract that's like uploaded in a system. There's missing words or missing links in some way. They're not identical. So when I say this, I say that there's a play on words, melding with the higher self through forgiveness. That could have been your walking away or walking forward. Yeah, the truth here. Because I was going to say, it feels like the way this came out is you could have lost somebody, and like it could have been even if you're doing somebody else wrong, it's like somebody that passed away in your family like sees I want to say the true bitch or the evil shit that you do in this house. This is very specific for a message for somebody who's just, you could be a hoarder or have a hard time letting go of shit. You know, you probably don't work, so you work more on everybody else's business and backstabbing and targeting people, trying to misuse your power. But your power is only based off of fear. And it feels like as this person speaks up and moves forward, they're being lifted up to a new level through faith and hope. Because many people see this person or you as their hope and light, love, and humanity. You could be directly on your directly on your path of speaking truth, bringing enlightenment to others. We just keep hacking and spitting until we get the truth out. He'll. Alright, let's keep going. Shall we? Shall we carry on? Ooh. There's a lot of back chatter. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of looking at how the fuck something else can be done in a specific way. I've run out of options. This could have started in January. Or knowing that this was a good start point to target somebody in misuse power. Drugs is still out here. Feels like something's out of balance. If they can't get you, it feels like they're going to get somebody else in this family, this home, or work situation to fall with you as the devil comes out. Yep, somebody's growing something that's out of balance and manifested through, I heard obsessive compulsive energy. It's like this, if somebody is obsessed with your situation or what you have or how you roll or your I just hear charisma. You could be naturally attuned to just life in general. You could have had a hard knock life, been through the thicket. Little did this person know that you've been fucked with so much that at this point, you come out leading the wolf pack. Like the things that they've called on, or it's already something that you canceled out in this lifetime through karma. You've already broke that. So you had divine intervention that came in and set up a blockade and a barrier. So this energy, whether it is relapsing or using or old thought patterns or trying to attach grief or shame or block your psyche from just not being able to move forward, feeling like you can't move forward from a situation, that's something that's coming back. It's just an aspect of their own energy. It's being reflected back to them, which is their own deep soul wound, their inability to use power. And when I say that, I mean hate and greed and envy. It's a very dark vibration. It's very dense and very heavy. I mean, in Misery Loves Company, why don't you just come on over and I'll share a little bit of that with you, or, be careful who you let into your house, be surprised the stuff that people try to pull out of their hat or out from underneath their bed to create. I'm telling you, you never know. You never know who your neighbor is. I'm telling you. Good fences keep honest neighbors. Well, they do now. They do now. Misused power. This devil and chariot in reverse. Oh my gosh, a corrupt leader in some way. The emperor in reverse comes out. This could be the boss that's lost their job. See, what I feel right now is that targeted energy is like, I'm going to target this person in any way. Home, work, court, their connection with spirit, past traumas, the blocking that's, this should be triggering this person to be blocked and to not move forward in whatever way. And you know what, guys, I'm not talking about, there is witchcraft here. Definitely. I said there's some old sort of sorcery here for the elite group that's got like somebody backed into a corner, so they think. I said, I heard if you live in a round house, it's hard for the devil to back you into a corner. It's like trying to fit a fucking square peg into a round hole. I heard it's not going to work. Misused power and drugs. Public Enemy 101. All right. Tell me about this misuse of power from this. I heard state official, an electee. It feels like if there's groups of this, whether it's, I heard a band of brothers. And within these groups, it gets sectioned out into units, it feels like. Or the breakdown smaller from the main, I wanted to say like forward operating base or post. This misuse of power. See, drugs is the easiest way to alter somebody's mind, to get into their, and we're talking like highly spiritual, where somebody, it would be like chloroform to rape somebody, so to speak. Trigger warning, by the way, I guess I should have said that. It's like using spiritual tools to try to influence somebody through, if they know you smoke cigarettes, they could, I'm talking on a very advanced level of, it's like bioweaponry. It's things that are programmed to create a certain effect within specific, genotypes. Those that are chemically engineered, I heard, they can become a bioweapon. So it could play off as like an attachment. That's really fucking sick. I'm hearing pharmaceuticals. It's like, I see like a switchboard. I want to say elite, but it's like what's being done behind. It comes in the quartz. Quartz is just like the tip of the iceberg. It's just how you get, they trap them to come in, and then they separate your kids, which could be star beings or star seeds, or, they could be, just have a very specific, I keep hearing genotype. Genotype. It's like a rare blood type. It's significant. You could be like a remnant of a last energy source, but genetically it holds. This could be so much deeper than what you even realize how and what has gone on. We're all born with a birth certificate, a social security number, and they take our blood and know our blood type, right? So in this case, they know who we are, when we are, what we are, and it feels like it's on that level of those who've gone down the rabbit hole, right? And they make them all seem crazy. That's the misused power, is this propaganda to create illusions through workspaces, through homes, environments, swapping their consciousness to the mailman, and the mailman, next thing you know, is in there fucking your wife, and it's something he normally wouldn't do, but it's like the spirit, that big tall shadow with the red eyes, kind of. That's the best way I can explain it. It's an energy, it's a density, I don't know, it's like the second it feels fear, and especially within a home, it's like when it gets into a home, it's evil. It's so hard to get out of. And the home could be your body. It could be something that you're eating, ingesting. It could be your actual home. Be careful who gives you gifts or flowers or I would just say, if you don't trust a person and you have off feelings and you wonder if somebody's doing shit to you, trust your intuition and your gut feeling, and do not receive anything from them. Wouldn't. And there's a need for boundaries here. Misused power, out of balance, under the influence. There's drinking and driving. If this person in your situation, if they're a boss or a father figure, they're doing a really damn poor job at being that, an example of anything. Like, it feels like this person shouldn't even be holding a position. It's becoming blatantly obvious that there's something in here that's disrupting relationships, the way that this person carries themselves, sees themselves. Like, this person could not even recognize themselves anymore. What up, Kyle? It's obvious that this person is out of balance, not capable to, and this could have happened since January. They could just notice a steady decline in somebody. If this is you, it feels like there's a need for intervention here. It feels like something's been recognized since January, been under investigation, or people are noticing it's no longer subtle signs. It's going to be obvious who's behind this and what's going on. And if it is a drug, I'm just telling you, some of you could be framed with drugs just to look a certain way to get you in trouble, and you could have like no drugs in your system. I'm telling you, it could be planted in your house or in your vehicle, because I'm seeing her work on the vehicle. Yeah, to cause something, a wish fulfillment or healing, not to come through, to set you back. Yeah, set you back. So you'd have to walk away. You wouldn't be able to move forward on this path. And this path could be the thing that's leading you to. See, your path was to come and heal. Something, I just see drugs that's sitting out here in misused power. It could have been used as a faulty default, or whatever this is. It got brought into whether this is in the spirit realm or this is in, I heard, higher spectrums of light. There's a lawyer that's going to see something. It's like they're your angels. If justice is served to you and you've planted good seeds and you've been in the upright, and you've gone through a lot of betrayal, misuses of power, relapsing, getting clean, just being tied to and out of balance, and you've gotten yourself back on your feet through this deep soul wound, please listen to your intuition about what's going on. Please ask people for help and don't be to yourself, because it does feel like no matter whether you want to or not, like I heard the angel of death. It's like the angel of death will come. If you're not going to be on your soul mission and be here, because it feels like it's a very important time. And especially if there's messing with, I just want to say it's like a remnant, something that was genocide before, a very rare breed or a very, it's a remnant energy that somebody possesses, and you're in a higher up and you know about this person and you've put this onto their path in some way, misused power to create a deep soul wound out of just evil, trying to make somebody feel unloved and like they don't have support and that they're alone, and maybe the only person that they did love left them or is going to pass away, and there's some sort of, and that's just going to trigger even more. And that's just a misuse of power because it feels like somebody put that directly onto somebody else's path, trying to make them miss the message, go through a death and rebirth, whether they even wanted you to die yourself. There could, I always wish that bitch would die. Like, I can hear the frequencies and the negativity, but there's people can't stop watching you. That's the thing. Even like if you've gone through the court systems, or you had to get your kids back, or if you had a job loss from lies and deceit and betrayal, and you're slowly getting your life back together, in that time of all that deep soul wounding, you could have had so many people come on your path that are addicts, or that, are poor business managers, or that they don't work and that they're out of balance, and they, it's like there's distractions that come in and try to deflect or create an illusion around this. It's like there's a wound here. It's like lack, a lack mentality, or like a soul wound, a mother wound in a way. It feels like a wound within the heart. I see a little kid like hiding under the kitchen table. Somebody that gets beat or hit, or is too terrified to come out until their dad passes out in the chair and is shit face, you know what I mean? And they can finally come out and grab a piece of chicken and go cuddle up underneath their bed in a blanket. It feels like a wound like that. And if you had this wound and somebody was aware of that spiritually, that could have been something that was triggered within you to have you have this loss. Why? I don't know. You could be a natural born healer that also leads and teaches people how to walk away from unfair situations in the psyche to their self, how to dissolve old patterns and use cognitive recognition capabilities because it's something that's within them. You could just literally see light and talk about specific things that enlightens others. It's like you just plant the seeds and the divine comes behind and plants the dreams and other synchronicities to align throughout that. Why the falsified paperwork? Hoping somebody wouldn't use their intuition on something. Keeping somebody trapped and stagnant. Falsified paperwork. Somebody didn't use their intuition on something. They didn't read something all the way through. Didn't use their intuition on what was out of balance and what was not. There's a lot of hard work on this, wasn't there? Somebody blocks somebody's intuition or tries to. About moving away or healing, or this healer that has moved away. In some way, you're being lifted to a new level. If there's a soul contract here with somebody else, the Ace of Wands, which is, it's the burning truth and the burning desire within. It feels unstoppable for this truth to come out. Because somebody, whether this is the judge, whether this is the lawyer, whether this is the clerk, county clerk, somebody within this dynamic sees what's going on. They understand that. And it's like they are implanted there with higher wisdom and knowledge. Like, because something underhanded was done. So the divine is intervening because it has to deal with destiny. And especially if this is somebody who's taken action on healing and moving forward, and they're intercepting messages in some ways, and it's found out, these spirit guides are going to tell this judge, and they'll just get it through inkling, or they'll look at something that they didn't see before, and it's like, case closed. I just heard case closed. It allows somebody to walk away and have this freedom and this healing that's rightfully their own. That's a lot of work and home, heavy, every day. I mean, you can't even feel like you can leave your house and trust, Maybe, that feels like there's a lot of trust issues, a lot of walls that are built up about, we talked about the lie, this out of balance, these fucking obsessive energies. Somebody could do this in a way of like trying to be passionate with somebody else too. If this was a boss or in a work situation or just somebody that could, run a business in some way, it feels like, yeah, player, you fuck with me, you're gonna see what you get, is what I heard. But it's like everything that was planned to be balanced out or to stop somebody or slow somebody else down brought out a wound that's also getting healed at this time. It's something that gets marked off the list. And even somebody's really fucked up on drugs, like literally can't stop. Like even this person who is on drugs, they could be misusing power right now through calling on unbalanced, very dark, dense energies to try to create a soul wound and keep somebody bound and tied, to build up walls so they won't see something for what it truly is. Not to walk away from this healer or this healing situation. In the meantime, somebody's melding with their higher self through this process. I heard you're right on time. You could have some sort of job or standing where, and I want to say in a year from now, it might not look like what it looks like now. I mean, you could definitely be an advocate or some sort of spokesman for people that go through events or exposing, and you do it in a benevolent way where it doesn't push it too far left or too far right. You just bring the truth and it brings healing for others. It's almost like a law or something is done away with. There's new bylaws and something is executed due to its untruthful nature in the way that it's presented through literature or spoken word. Yeah, the hiding. Well, some shit's really gonna come out about why this victory doesn't come through. It's like whatever this gets rewritten, I'm telling you, there's people on the other side that are aware that they've become your guides or they're watching over this scenario that is bringing this into alignment, and the divine's using them in the perfect way. You might have taken some lumps, and I mean, there's some, we had the Ace of Swords in reverse, fucking players, liars. Like, there's a lawyer here that's just and I don't want to use this word lightly, but it's a fucking cunt. I mean, the bitch knows everything, and excuse my language for saying that, but it's like, come hell or high water, it's like the ego in this person to lose a case or to the point where they start doing this, and this is how they got into this, and you've somehow become a byproduct of that evil energy, because it's probably the same energy whoever this is over here trying to suck you back into with misuse of power. It could be the same dynamic. We did talk about having a community. Everything is strategic and connected. 33 as I say that. See, now the Emperor comes out in the upright when we talked about what's illuminated in this moon. Somebody wants to play fair now. There could be no options left for them to cover something or redact something. It's going to be seen or exploited. There's one person that knows the truth about this. And it's going to come from the most least expected way of how this comes out. I'm telling you, it's from like a divine being that whispers something, it's truth, into somebody crucial's ear that gives them the truth. They show it to them in the truth of the light. It's like the Christ consciousness just comes, because this is a part of this person's path. Maybe in the past life, there was a energy owed to you, and this judge so happens, and it's because it's truth and it's in the upright is why this wind comes through or this gets exposed. You might lose, but an exposure comes from this in some way. Something else could come up where there's another incident and now there's no going back, because somebody already said what they said in court or on paperwork or was heard or recorded or seen or observed or investigated, and it's like some time goes by and then something else happens, and the divine's going to have this happen where it really shows the ass of this person. So they might win or get awarded, whatever. It could feel unfair because it is an unjust situation, but in some way, once that happens, that sets that motion for that karma to come back around, and now it's like this person gets stuck in a specific energy or this deity, or you vibrate higher in the ascension level of, I want to hear your planetarial movements have aligned you within your north node, like this ascension process where you're literally not in that time and space anymore. But it becomes obvious that this other situation, this group of peoples, this judge, lawyer, whatever this is. I heard, give me my fucking kids back. There could be something with like a lawyer or somebody who's a representative actually sleeping with their client in some case. It's like somebody just throws that ass around, or, you know, does something to get into this player mode where they go unseen. It's like, I'm talking, and they're unloving as fuck. So I don't know what this illusion they cast over looks like. A party, because there's 3 of them there, you know. This person could sleep easily with 3 girls in one night to, you know, throughout the week. This is big player energy as I'm looking at it. You know, see the big game piece, and this person could have dead animals all over their house, or, you know, play games, play chess. There could be a lot of people that know that this person is a player, and that he might think that he has them fooled. I don't know why I'm saying he has them fooled and not seeing something, but it feels like something else is manifested where these people want to heal and come out. It's a group of souls that are no longer being locked out from what's rightfully theirs. And blocking, yeah, that goes in reverse. I heard what comes around goes around. It's a dawn of a new day. It's like you got to call your power back. You move forward through this. You might not realize because some time has gone by, you know. Could be 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. 66. I think I said 1966 in the beginning of this comes out. Definitely connected to spirit. Because your path here, or your whatever you're activating or advocating for, it feels like it's for healing purposes. It's true connection. Healing body, mind, and soul. I don't know. Congratulations on letting go and allowing your guides to move in. Wow. This person could be in a place of really recognizing, what the fuck did I do? What did I call on? What was I entangled with? Why would I do that? And it's like this person, for some of them, really could have been under some sort of illusion. Some of them are straight knowing that they called on some very dark shit. And it's like somebody really sold their soul thinking that whatever this was stopping you, this family, this kid to be born, whatever it is that's coming that this person knew about. It feels like through energy work of some kind, past life is surfacing that there is something that comes right this lifetime. This person could like drama and refuses to change. That could be a habit. They're a player. They could drink, drive. You could see them constantly with people either over at their house, or, you know, people in and out, or every time you see them there was somebody different, or you could just know that they're all fucked up because it looks like this person lost their one love. Somebody who is using heavily, you know, that you can do it. You just need to get fresh air and just free yourself from that space. Like sometimes moving out of a space that's very toxic for you, just going outside and getting away could really help you shift your mind. Like if you like being in outdoors, please just go do things that you used to love to do. It will go away. And ask, you know, very psychic, intuitive comes out. There's a reason you're going through this. Somebody is watching and helping you, and it definitely has to do with one love. Bob Marley comes out, you know, spirit guides. Cops and community come out too. Your love beyond this planet, wise one. You'll know what you need to know when you need to know it. All this paperwork that went through, or these falsified documents, or it's like, even I can see like a police cam, people talking and something getting caught on there. And it's like an evidence video that gets resurfaced through like an appeal or some way something comes out. I'm seeing like prints that are recovered, or specimens of DNA, like something is recovered or comes back online, or is somebody omits to their, because it's like that somebody, for some of you, like if this person doesn't, somebody had to hide and lie and do something that's really fucked up, but it feels like if they were to tell you or do something, and this says cops and community out here, like I really feel like this person would come up missing or be a head on somebody's wall. You know what I mean? That's the level of, I'm seeing New York, Chicago, LA. Yeah, there's so much growth. Congratulations comes out, astral projection. Some of you are in like highly spiritual wars right now. I mean, really, you have no idea. If you're oblivious to half of the shit, if you're not sleeping, if you're not, just know that you're high. You're going to wake up to this. That's why we go through this healing. And whatever this is, this documentation, this paperwork, it's something that gets caught or is left behind or sitting on a desk. It's a soul contract, being led by spirit guides. Call on Archangel Michael to help fragments of your oversoul's expression. So calling in truth. It gets seen. And it's like the smallest fuck up on their end. It's like a word or just a fucking something after a signature, because I heard analytics or analysis. There's something that's seen or observed, and somebody's like, fuck it, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna bring it in. I'm gonna bring it in, and I'm gonna say it. And I'm gonna say my truth, and my truth is, my word is my bond. There is going to be some enlightenment. These drugs, whatever this is that's getting pumped out onto the street, or I'm telling you, this has to do targeted people through corrupt leaders, evil trying to stop light. These people could just, I mean, I'm seeing cops that have like porn addictions, or whatever these people are, this group, they're like, it could be a militia or some sort of, they do fucked up shit. Like they do drugs, they sell drugs, they move shit around. I heard from bank account to bank account. January comes out here again. Something seen through taxes. This is where it comes through. The numbers don't add up. The numbers don't add up. So if somebody claims something somewhere else and then taxes are done, something gets seen or audited. Even if it's 3 years from now, it comes out, and even then it's going to hit at the perfect time. There's justice. Just be patient, because there's like other players that are a part of this pond that are the divine's getting them to go to the right spot at the right time, say the right thing, submit something, because people have cameras everywhere now. You know, people have cameras everywhere. You know, shootings and fucking underhanded dealings, that all can get recorded. And, you know, there's a lot of, everything's always tapped into with what I say. You know what I mean? And other people say our phones, shit like that. There's healing over this obsessive energy in some way. And if somebody else was trapped in this with you, and this was a dynamic of a partnership that you got to move away from, I want you to know that there is healing in this on a soul level. That even if you and this person aren't together, there's something about co-parenting, running a business, being able to make things work smoothly. I heard I can't wait till this comes out. Like, there's passed on loved ones and people that have seen this energy or been waiting, and it's like, you know, it's about evil. It's about putting things into balance. Even Gaia, you know what I mean? I can see it's coming in windstorms and rainstorms and in different ways. I mean, shit. You never know. You never know, I heard. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? The person that's the underhanded society, what energies are they ruling in right now or trying to project onto others? Grief, ego, illusions, judgment, and deceit. Wow, I'll be a son of a bitch. Oh, and install distrust within the dynamic. So spirit guides want you to know that faith in oneself can rebuild trust in others, because the dynamic is to recognize that there's no separation, that we can become higher enlightened beings by connecting with ourselves and specific things around us. I mean, we're all very diverse and we have our own ways and our unique abilities, and there's some of us that are going to be doing some very important things. So it's we need to get some of this shit out of the way so we can move on. But some of these big ones that are falling, like I'm seeing big houses, courts, off grid locations, places where these things are done underground, or where these rituals are held out. It's like it's seen. There's smoke signals. It's signs. Somebody, whoever sent out a SOS to spirit saying, I hold this in the light and I call for the divine justice and guidance in this, and you've taken your lumps along the way just to expose this and have divine help to do it. I don't think you're a person that's really, you just want your simple life back, but in some way you are the only person, and maybe you are spiritual and this is why you were picked for this. Maybe you did have an awakening, because a lot of people aren't awakened in this group of whatever this is, and you could have just been awakening at the right time to realize that this really does have to do with the darker societal norms, and what you speculate on is your truth. They just try to block your illusion to make it feel as if, and the only thing that you need to do right now, Spirit saying, is call on Archangel Michael, call on the higher aspect of yourself, and walk in faith and remain diligent in your truth, your moral code, the person that you are, and your intention behind what happened in that, and your ability. It's not even about what happened in it, what your intention is now. Forgiveness, for yourself, the grief, we all have ego, but the deceit that came from this, if this is you, who I want to say fucked this up or brought this on in some way on somebody else who is a bearer of light, I don't think you recognized who this person was, and now your own, fuck, this could be showing up in your life, in your rituals, in your own spirituality. Like, you could be feeling haunted right now. You could be feeling definitely haunted right now. Weird shit could be falling off of counters or in your bathroom, or it's like the own ghost come back to haunt you. I don't think you recognized what you were dealing with. When you don't deliver on certain things, like I said, the devil's collecting contracts. And that's the law. That's the judgment and the justice that comes out. Well, within those contracts of deceit, ego, illusions, comes out one word. It's just, I keep hearing it's just one word that's said that's like, ha. And it could be as simple as, yeah, when I did this, somebody overhears it. But previous to that, they heard him say something different. So now they put it together and see the culprit within the dynamic. They investigate even more through whether it's their spiritual awareness or the fact that they are obliged to do so due to certain policy within a program, or just their own moral code. It brings the deceit to the front. There could actually be grieving now, and for those of you that are going to get your children back, or your loved one out of from being falsely in prison, this could be spiritually, this could be in the physical, your home back. Somebody moves away that gives you so much grief, whether it's an illness or whatever, it's going to be cleared out. Your guides want you to think back on the spiritual sacrifice that you've had. You've lost a lot. You've lost a lot. Mostly your mind, but your ego. And that you don't realize how much you've grown, and what this is going to push you into, limitless potential to seed more things in this earth that you want in your world for others. And that starts with honesty and compassion for others. It's not all love and light. Sometimes you have to fucking knuckle up and knock a motherfucker out. And that could just be the way the divine uses you to bring justice in this world. I'm not saying go and looking for a fight, but if things come to it, or you're going to see, all of those illusions, that vibration's changing. So whatever that frequency is that was creating that illusion within the mind piece, it comes to the forefront, seen. You'll see somebody with the ego a mile away. You can see the way somebody moves their fingers or twitches their fucking leg, or the spirit that's on right behind them, that big dark motherfucker, when they walk in a room and you're like, oh, you brought your friend, great. And they don't know. They might not know that you can see these things. Maybe that's the illusion that you had them under the whole time. Maybe you are the boogeyman they've been calling on. We all have different aspected souls in some way or another. There is oneness. Feels like somebody spent a lot, 8 to 12 lifetimes just coming back to the side of grief. It's been a long path, and this could be you finally finding it. When you want to rip somebody's fucking face off and they snap, that old state of being you can get into when people are coming for your kids and your family, and that aspect of you that's like, I will eat your soul. That's because you've lived it. What you're going through now, you're cleaning up what's left over residue of calling back aspects of your soul that were trapped in a space and time of hurt, pain, ego, loss, grief. It could be playing itself out now, and this could be it. And maybe somebody went overboard with it. They don't want to let you go. Ego got in the way, but this created you to become a more highly aware spiritual being, walking in truth and integrity for the highest good of humanity. You're remembering your brothers and sisters, and if you have to take a few lumps on the chest, if it, we borrow this land from our grandchildren. Let's look at it like that. So what we're doing now is creating our future for our children. Clean your shit up. Get clean. Work on your perception of yourself. Spend time with your grandkids and your kids, if you have them. Be a good friend to friends that you know. It doesn't mean go be a doormat and let people siphon off you, but shine a light. Speak up for yourself. If not, at least shine the way you walk, the way you talk. Allow yourself. You're intellectual. You've been through a lot. You're very wise. Express yourself. Your soul wants to come here and have an expression outside of, let's just say, the domineering aspects or shadow aspects of the ego. It wants to display its radiance and its light and its benevolence through wisdom. Your wisdom and ability to be slow to anger and judgment allows others to, you hold space for others to walk into that light, especially if you're a strong role model and you're somebody that has been through the most and other people are recognizing you now or what you've been through. There's a lot of admiration about here. They could feel like, man, the amount of grief and deceit you went through, they might not understand how you're still standing, but they also know whatever the spirituality thing or whatever you were perceived for as being different or out of the norm or frowned upon for whatever way you believe, whatever that is, they could see whatever that is what kept you going and honest and in the light. They may not have understood it in the beginning and thought, say if your family's all Mormons or Christians and you do divination or you're into crystal healing or Reiki, they could have looked at you in a way out of their own ego, their own grief for not being unique. Some of these people could be involved within this, and this creates a big change for them too. Yeah, the moral of the story is the truth comes out, but within your truth lies the foundation for truth for somebody else to build off of in the right way, whether they choose to or not. 44, as I say, that is up to them. I want to say just allow things to go within. This is the season of going within, burrowing within yourself. You don't have to work so hard on it every day, but when things do come up, allow yourself to go through them for a few days. Sometimes for some of you it's been 3 weeks. It's like you're going to find your breaking point, whether it's your perspective changes or something else falls away. Don't be so stubborn to think that, some things aren't as they seem, And I think you're going to be surprised about somebody that has your back in a situation for a very specific person. I think you're going to be very surprised. There's some eyes in there that are definitely observant and can see things from a very, I just keep hearing occultic practices. I'm like seeing like Scientology and things that are done underground for some of you. I mean, this goes deep. Deep. This isn't just like, and the snake's behind that with coiled and waiting. Somebody's waiting to strike, and it's like this striking or this last, the divine's like, strike, come on, strike. Whatever's in that, whatever trace is left behind or whatever's picked up on or seen or heard, it's the straw that broke the camel's back. That's the truth itself. Somebody's own hatred will bring about their own demise while setting somebody else free. Only fools set snares and traps. You don't got to worry about that shit. When you want to see everybody do good, some people you don't fuck with. You're like, you're not my speed. But you can appreciate for somebody for where they've come from and where they're at now. Not everybody's going to be perfect. Some of you just have people look at you with they despise you. You could probably be somebody who goes through shit on a nonstop level, and it fucking irritates people that no matter what, you have a new idea or you're creative, or if this is people doing dark shit on you. You when I say you're protected, motherfucker, I'm saying you're protected. There's just some things, when people, their time's up and their lessons are learned energetically here for a while, and this is a destined aligned path for somebody. Nothing can move that. I mean, you're gonna fight God. Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna bring out the shadow aspect of the Creator that evolves within your life. Tres puntos like spider, I'm the boogeyman. All right. Energy that your higher self spirit guides are working with. I see 1111. Purification process. Debugging, decluttering, taking out, getting rid of, dissolving, and releasing anything. And that's why they want to talk about forgiveness, because as long as you're lingering on what you don't understand and not knowing who plays a role in what and which way, that just is robbing your energy and feeding it to that source in its own might. And you might have recurring thoughts that come through, but the more that you focus on positive affirmations of, I give it to the light, I trust in divine process, and during this time I'm taking it to purify my soul, to reconnect with myself so I can be in my own radiance and have this renewal. Because there's going to be shit about yourself that gets shunned on too. Could be some of your own deceit, and some grief that you're still hanging on to, and maybe illusions that you've set for yourself as far as self-sabotaging through your own egotistical behaviors of, I'm not going to get hurt again, so this is how it is. I mean, you could run good people off by not being susceptible to your own healing. It takes strength. For some of you, if this is a relationship, and you lost somebody that is, they could have their own issues. That you could have seen this person going through so much, and if you had a upheaval with this person, in some way, it brought back a sense of strength within somebody, their ability and their innate need to grieve and recognize that. This person recognizes they have to let go before they can be or do anything. This heavy grief, this bitterness, this blaming others, this not owning their own part, or reacting on why I did what I did because somebody else did what they did. It's not right. It's somebody who's really going to learn a hard lesson about ego, and it's okay to be humble. It's okay to be fucking down on one knee and a bag of clothes and your fucking pickups fucked. You got nothing. And showing up and fucking doing life. Not a soul around. That's where your tenacity comes in, because you still chose to, whether it's get clean, purify yourself, be a better parent, be a better husband, wife, be good to yourself. That's the strength in it all, is if you can have admiration for yourself for what you've been through, and grateful for, it might have not been fun, and for some of you it could be like, I'm so glad this is over, gonna be over. That's your new start. But at the same time, when something's over and you can look back on the basketball game or the house you built, or how you were able to be there for somebody, how you never had for you. You feel God in that moment, that Christ, that love, that, what a relief it brings, to that joy that you get when you help somebody else out, or you accomplish something within your own mind. It's a pertinent tool of wisdom and information that you can guide others with, just even by them watching you. That it's so subtle. It doesn't always have to be this big flamboyant act of bravery. It could just be simply keeping your head down and choosing to go day by day, letting something go. When you can learn forgiveness for yourself, for not knowing, for not seeing. It's divinely, there's so many things going on. This is just one aspect of your soul in this life, in this space and time. Have a little fun doing it. A lot of these things that are hard are set up for you to fucking shine. That's where you hid the key to this wisdom and knowledge that you hold. You knew you weren't be worthy of it if you were still afraid of the boogeyman, or if you've seen separation others, or jealousy or envy still got in your heart. Of course you're not going to unlock the key to your own higher soul's destiny, because you're not worthy of it. Just like when COVID-19 came around and everybody fucking bomb guarded the toilet paper. Shit, that showed you something about humanity. There's people going with no ass wipe, and people that got cupboards of it. If you're the person that had pantries on pantries, well, they should have got there sooner. Well, you're kind of a dick. Get what I can while I can, and I'm in there. It's like, fuck, dude. Don't you realize we could manifest more toilet paper together? I'm just saying. Certain things that come about really show the level of consciousness within those dynamics. So place yourself where you will, but vibrate at a level that has some fucking dignity for yourself and the future version of yourself. And if you have kids and you've been just going through it, and we all lose our way I can't say that I've lost my way out of envy or competition or spite towards another person or wanting what they have or fighting somebody for their own birthright or trying to knock somebody down when they're good at it. You know, it makes me want to be better. It makes me thrive harder. It makes me want to have my own comeback. I've just never been that person that wants what somebody else has in that way. I let that shit go. And when those things come back around, or in the end, it'll be what it'll be. And you see that most of the time when it comes back to it, if I, by the time I see that I won, right, in that state of ego, or I got the person or the job, I don't want the motherfucker anymore. Because I've learned that I can go through something else and gain deeper insights and strengths within myself. So it's a funny thing, as a lot of people will compete with you against something that they think that you want or you need, or they think that's in alignment with you, but spend a little bit of time by yourself and you start to realize you really truly want not that anymore. You can shape it, mold it, form it, purify it with more love, think about it harder with a stronger emotion of purity and goodness, and walk in steadfast and calling on the light of the situation. I always call on my growth. Allow me to grow and to see, you know. Show me where I fuck up. Show me where I can, what my soul. I talk to my soul all the time. What's this lesson? Help me to, once I recognize the grief and I feel the pain or the loss of my kid's dad or whatever that looks like, I just send him so much love and understand the role he played in my life and how special every moment and advanced bit of telepathy and everything we experienced together. We have a kid. I mean, he left me with a beautiful, beautiful blue-eyed, red-headed girl. And so in a way, the best parts of him, they lived through her. And now I get to be Mama Bear and take what we both went through and know in our evolution, and I get to be a better mom, a better leader. My kids become more awake than I was. I didn't have that when I was a kid. Nobody taught me about waking up. Now you guys get to teach these lessons to others in your family. And sometimes it's not about what you say. Sometimes it's just about how you be. That speaks, actions are so much louder than words. Although, you know, words are very powerful. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. Clean what you see in your mind, what you feel. It's okay to have counteracting thoughts, but if you're spending the majority of your day going back and forth and not sure, if you're not sure, dead set and don't fucking know about somebody's your twin flame, right, or your person, or if somebody's meant to be there, they're gonna be there. If somebody is afraid of to say a truth or to come forward, let them be where they're at, because they are not ready for where you're at. As much as you want them to see the truth and find the adventure within it, they have to learn. And when it's hard and that's why the divine takes us away from certain people, or we move around, and it could be very painful, but sometimes it's not about what you're going through, it's about what the other person needs. And some of you are loyal to a fault. Some of you don't know when to stop being there for other people and let them learn, because you want to give people what you didn't have so that they don't have to go through that animosity and that tumultuous time in their life where everything, they lose their house. I mean, it spirals fast too. You know, when your outside world is a representation of who you are on the inside. You know? It shows. And in this scenario, somebody's going to be seen for, you know, what if they get popped for the drugs and the alcohol or whatever this is, the constant having people around her. That's okay, because that's going to be the thing that divine uses to help them too. And when you truly do love people and you care about humanity, you see where you played a role in somebody else's life in lessons. It's not like, yeah, motherfucker got back what he got. You know, as much as it is nice to see somebody humble themselves, it's even more exciting when you can see somebody that you did love at once get the message and understand that you're excited for their growth. And no matter what the base of it, you do want people to be happy. Why would you want somebody else not to have, you know, they learned a lesson and it hurt your ego in some way, but some people don't want to change. Some people are very capable of changing. It's just the perspective that we have. Know your energy so that you can know others. Know what's yours and what's not, what you align with, what you want in your life. What are your morals? When's the last time you sat down and wrote out your goals or what you're manifesting or want to see happen in your life? 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years. You know, maybe it's time for all of us to go back to the drawing board. And as much as this fucked up shit's going on, take that time. I mean, it's in the courts. There's other stuff going on. What, you're going to worry about it and give them more energy? Or you can sit and you can journal. I know these things are going on in my life, but I call on the light to bring me discernment that I need, this connection. I ask that you would show me signs and synchronicities that you're receiving my prayers. And a lot of you are very connected. You're very intuitive. You already know what's going on, but you're also being blocked from knowing what's going on in a way because you're still working on a piece of the letting go, and maybe you won't get to see the ship burn and the house fall to the ground. And a part of you, really, this could be your arch nemesis, but in some way, you will see the divine justice in all of it. And as much as some of you want to see somebody fall and hurt, I think deep down, once your soul wakes up and recognizes, I think you're going to feel like shit for what you did. And it sucks because some of you have a very bright path that you could have chose to ascend and to see things and move and work from a higher state instead of manipulation. That's all you have now is to manipulate others. It's a very poor tactic, especially the fact that others are waking up to that, and we can bypass that through genetically, through healing other attributes. This will be something that doesn't vibrationally affect us in our frequency in the way in which we roam or emit a multitude of frequencies that are destined for our life path. Remember, everything is tied back in. There's always connection to everything. We're not what we've been through, but we get to be a good example of how to walk out of fucking hell. How are you going to carry hell on your shoulders, right? What you've been through. What is your set of wings going to look like, metaphorically speaking? How big will you allow your energy field to bloom? You're going to stay small? You're going to stay small and hide out and, just be the guy that wants to do things behind the scene? Or do you want to be a leading by example, You're moving so much around, at least be the face for others. Some people go, unnoticed, and that's a role that they play. Some need to step up and really walk into finding the family members that are still affecting you. If it's been years, I just want to let you know. I know I'm calling out of nowhere. It's taken a lot of humility for me to do that. Own that it's humility for you to do that and say, look, I can't rehash and I don't want to go over it, but I want to ask for your forgiveness, or I want you to know that I forgive you. And even if I don't understand it, I feel like there's a need to give you that so that I can equally have my energy back and call your energy back. Set yourself free from that. There's so much power in just letting go. And it's like we're so scared to let go. Oh man. It's all going to come to light. That's just more fear, and it's what keeps us from dreaming big. We're capable of so much, literally anything. All right. Angel number for the collective to come out. We've got Drama Alert, 1717. Independence, soul message, alone time, learning, healing, and aspirations. Take a few deep breaths and focus inwards. You need time to think things over and to consider your options. At this time, you must rely solely on yourself. You might not believe it, but you are headed in the right direction. What appears to be a lull in activity is just a natural part of the process. Some of you allow yourself to get the rest. Even if you're sleeping like long hours or you're very tired for a few days in a row, allow yourself to recalibrate. You're doing a lot of energy work right now, so be gentle and patient with yourselves. And remember to talk to yourself, and if you're going to be haunted by memories of the past, look how far you've come. You can't change it, but you can evolve from it. You can do everything by yourself, but life is to be shared. Partner up with the right spirit, and you will become a force. Honor commitments and people around. Do not judge and listen. Feminine forces. Relationships, balance, prosperity, efficiency, patience, and humility. 2222. All right, messages from the collective's higher selves, higher aspect of soul energy. Reach for your dream knowing that is already coming true. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Your success is closer than you imagine, so just keep going. It's a little late to turn back now. You are an original, so let yourself follow your own heart. And I'm telling you, some of you are original rays of light or energy, higher level vibrational frequencies. People are not going to align with you. People are going to want to, because you scare them. People don't probably know what you're fucking with. You could literally be walking in the light, but have this because they don't know about tarot, or they don't know about oracle, or they don't know about crystals, or they don't know about that shit that you're doing with your hands and the language that you're speaking. You could be freaking some people out thinking you're putting fucking curses on them and shit. And for some of you, that is a fact. But authentically and genuinely continue to be yourself on the path that you're on. That's why some of you really, I'm talking about your DNA, your children, there could be something about you that's very, like, somebody sniffed something out, or like there's some sort of a parable or a prophet, you know what I mean? You could be a prophet. You could be somebody that was said to come in a specific time, and like these mongering energies, no. Tony, this is very deep and spiritual in a sense, but also evolutionary on the soul level and the physical. These things are all tied together. You're on a double mission here. You're doing a lot. Faith is everything. Realize you're connected to the light. Call back onto the light. Imagine your big sword of truth that glows in gold. When you say something that's negative and you don't like, imagine yourself wielding that sword and cutting that and then replacing it, growing it with what you took away, replacing it with the divine cord of light of truth, or seeing yourself as the higher aspect of who you truly are, not what you've been through, circumstances. You know, logic and reason can go a lot deeper, and it can become philosophical in some way. Because I think the deepest truth, some of them, there's not words. It's a look, it's an energy, it's an understanding. It's sometimes truth doesn't even have to be a word, you just know. Like in 300, right? The number 2, when his wife handles this shit and he dies. They just look at each other. She didn't say I love you or anything like that. They just looked at each other and they fucking knew. Sometimes bonds are too strong. We don't need to talk. You know, we don't need the words. We just be. All right, guys, I'm getting off here. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new and you dig the vibe, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button for your gal. I appreciate it so much. If you guys are interested in a personal read with me, the light it burns. What up, Moses? What up, Mike? Bill? Mariah, Hot Rod, I love you guys. My email is angeldynasty33@gmail.com. Leave me an email. That's an hour-long personal read for $65. Come February, I'm going to be doing a buy one, get one, a 20-minute for free. I might make it 20. I might do 15. Just so you can give somebody, you know, if you want to gift it to somebody else. I think it'll be good. More bang for your buck, so to speak. I love you, Alicia. Bryce Wilkie says, I am Molly. Bye-bye. Jolly Jules. I hope you guys all have a good night. Mush. Alright, guys. I'm outie. For all the personal reads, if you had a personal read with me, check your email. If I wasn't able to catch you online today for the specified time, I just recorded it and I have it sent. This last week, I'm going to be scheduling The Art of Pain and Anthony for your guys's free personal reads that you won. So I apologize for the delay. I did take 2 weeks off with all the kids, but it's always perfectly on time because the divine has a certain amount of things that open up or come to the forefront, and it's now you needed the read. Well, now you'll have it when you need it because now you guys got a bunch of stuff that you want to delve into. All right. Good night. Kisses from Idaho.